Welcome back to Eurosatory News. I'm Akil Wingate, and now joined with me is George MATUS, who is the founder of Teal and the CTO of Red Cat. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Akil. This is a fantastic show. I've been to a lot of shows, and this is a great show.
Is this your first Eurosatory?
It actually is, yeah.
Okay.
Not for the rest of my team, though. They've been here before.
Now, you have a very interesting story, if we're honest.
I don't know about that, but happy to talk about it.
I would say it's an interesting story. We have some toys here with us. We'll get into them in a moment. But Teal, for those of you who are watching who aren't familiar, is essentially a drone company.
Yeah, we are an American company that manufactures small drones.
Uh-huh.
We're one of only a handful of companies in America that is able to build this type of drone at scale.
Uh-huh.
And for other things we'll talk about later, drones are very interesting right now.
And you are the founder.
Yes.
Founded 10 years ago.
Yeah, this September will be my 10-year anniversary.
At the age of 17.
Yeah, I was and still am just an ordinary person that loved flying, loved building things, saw the potential that this technology might have one day, and was naive enough to try to start a company, and was fortunate enough to find people much smarter than me to help build this company.
Where does that spark come from at the age of 17 to decide, you know what, I want to build a drone company?
I think people would describe me as a very optimistic person, so I thought, why not? And at the same time, I loved building things, I loved flying, loved finding creative ways to make some money. But in high school, basically started building different drone prototypes and realized that there might be an opportunity to make drones that are kind of like smartphones that are powered by software and apps and aren't just single use case devices, and simultaneously drones that are made in the USA, not over in China, which there's some interesting perspectives there. But got that started in 2015 in high school, became a Peter Thiel Fellow, raised a few rounds of venture capital financing, and started building the team and building our products.
You're self-taught?
I am, yeah. Didn't go to college. But again, got a really smart team of people behind me that are making this happen.
It's really compelling to hear this because, for example, at Eurosatory, we have something called the Eurosatory Lab, where there are many young people, not unlike yourself when you were 17, who came up with an idea to launch an initiative of something and see it through to fruition. And here we have the fruits of your labor now, some 10 years later, and not only did you realize and conceptualize this idea, it is really growing wings and taking off.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, I am inspired by anybody who tries to build something, and I've been very lucky over the last 10 years to get to where we are today, but I'm of the opinion that ordinary people can build extraordinary things.
You're being modest. We can say to the audience that Teal is currently in competition for what prize exactly?
So, I think as a lot of people know, small drones have been demonstrating their real impact on the battlefield over the last couple of years, and so the United States has been working to catch up. And has a program called Short Range Reconnaissance for the U.S. Army. It's currently the largest program of record for small drones in the world. It started about 5 years ago, and we became part of that back in 2019. There were originally 37 respondents and vendors vying for the contract. They've narrowed it down to 2 vendors, Teal and one other, and we're expecting to hear back in the next couple of months on who wins. And the intent of that program is to get a small drone into the hands of every platoon in the Army. So a very big program.
Let's have a look at our special guest that we have next to you. So what do we have here? Let's start with the small one first here. What is this here in front of us?
So at Eurosatory, we are announcing a family of systems. So for the last 10 years, Teal's been focused on a single platform of drone, a single category of drone for basically short-range reconnaissance use cases, and so on. But at this event, we're announcing our family of systems, which is an expanded product line, which not only includes our current flagship product, but now an FPV capability for precision strike use cases, as well as a long-range fixed-wing VTOL capability for long-range ISR, which you saw in our booth yesterday.
FPV capability, but it's still very compact, still very mobile, still very much I guess there's a lot of discussion about FPV being the sort of the go-to right now because you have almost complete situational awareness, etc. But so often when we see a lot of the ad campaigns, we see people kitted out with so much stuff when they're using it.
Right.
And that is not the case here, obviously.
Yeah, there's a lot of excitement around FPV, which I think is great. But I think, we have to take a holistic approach to small drones and how they are used on the battlefield. So we're trying to introduce this family of systems that can work together on the battlefield effortlessly, seamlessly, with very low cognitive workload to the warfighter. And something about Red Cat and Teal is we are very open. We make our technology, our hardware and software very modular and interoperable. So we love partnering with companies, and something we're very excited about here at Eurosatory is to see a lot of our partners and find new ones to continue bridging capability gaps for the warfighter and give them ultimately what is today like the lowest cost, most portable kill chain on the front line. And really not many people in the industry are doing that right now.
And the smaller drone here that's in front of us, what is this one here?
This is the FPV drone. So this is the one that is manually piloted, can carry pretty heavy payloads, and be used for precision strike use cases.
Extremely lightweight.
Yes. Yeah, you can fit all of this in your backpack, use it on the front line. And again, it's like an all-inclusive kill chain for both intelligence, surveillance, reconnaissance, and then also strike capability.
Why is it important for Teal to be not only present here at Eurosatory, but also to have a presence in Europe?
The drone industry has gone through some really interesting inflection points over the last decade, primarily having been monopolized by China, which has presented a lot of data flow, dual use, and dependency risks. And so we've seen a lot of erosion in the industrial base outside of China, in the US and in Europe. And we believe we need to rebuild that industrial base to mitigate those risks. And we can't do it alone. America can't do it alone. And we need partners. We need actual cooperation, and that's something that we're working on out here in Europe with both technology partners, with representation for deploying our product, and we're very pleased about how the show has been going so far.
It's interesting. It's a conversation that's not being dialogued heavily enough, apparently, in terms of where our data is going and who is manipulating that data. It's interesting to hear that here we have a company that, as a result of obviously the American dream, so to speak, be independent of all those things and not necessarily ensnared in any of those traps.
Yeah, I think people are seeing not only the impact that drones are having on the battlefield, but also elsewhere in life, in public safety and enterprise use cases. They are having significant impact. The technology is accelerating so quickly. Regulation is starting to adapt to that. And this is such a critical technology to our future. We can't be fully dependent on someone like China to provide that capability. And at the same time, it's very difficult to make small drones. They're very advanced.
Yeah.
The products are complex, but they also take a lot of investment to manufacture and produce at scale.
The end note I would say is that this is all extremely impressive and nothing short of inspiring, not only to the young viewers who might draw some gold nugget from your story, but also to the other people out there who are looking for something of this nature. George, thank you so much for joining us. It has been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
And good luck with the results of that competition. This is George MATUS, who is the founder of Teal, as well as the CTO of Red Cat. We'll be right back after these messages. Stay tuned. This is Eurosatory News.